Have you ever felt that people who grew up in the 1970s think, react, and survive life very differently than people today? Not better, not worse, just different. And it's almost impossible to explain this difference to anyone born after the 2000s, because the psychology of the 1970s generation was shaped by silence, freedom, danger, and a childhood that would terrify modern parents. They grew up in a world with almost no supervision. If you disappeared for 5 hours, nobody panicked. There were no phones, no GPS, no location sharing. You had a bicycle, a few friends, and one loose rule: be home before dark. And even that rule was flexible. Psychologically, this created something rare today. A deep inner belief that says, I'll figure it out, even when they had no idea what they were doing. And that mindset never left them. Even today, people from that era don't wait for instructions. They don't panic when things go wrong. They adapt. But to truly understand the psychology of the 1970s generation, you have to look at who raised them. Most of their parents lived through World War II, or were born right after it. These were people who saw real fear, real hunger, real loss. They didn't talk much about emotions. They didn't complain. They didn't explain everything. They survived. And without realizing it, they passed that survival mindset to their children. This is why people from the 70s matured early. Responsibility wasn't taught in a workshop. It was breathed in the house. You helped. You fixed things. You figured things out. If something broke, you didn't replace it. You repaired it. If something went wrong, you didn't wait for help. You were the help. That environment builds a backbone. They watched parents work long hours without applause. Neighbors helped each other without posting it online. Adults carried real pressure quietly. And that teaches a child something powerful. Life is serious, but you can handle it. Responsibility isn't punishment. It's part of being alive. That's why many people from the 70s feel older than their age, not physically, mentally. Their maturity didn't come from books. It came from watching real life. Unfiltered and undistracted, they became the bridge generation. 1 foot in the old world, slow, raw, real. 1 foot in the new world, fast, loud, digital. Now look at the generation born after the 2000s. They grew up with phones. Before they learned how to sit still, notifications, videos, messages, timelines. Their brain has been running at full speed since childhood. And you can see the effect everywhere. They get tired faster, overwhelmed easier. Their attention disappears in seconds, not because they're weak, because their brain is overloaded. They absorb more information in one day than someone in the 1970s absorbed in a week. Social media gives them connection, but it also gives them pressure. They compare without noticing. They feel behind even when they're doing fine. Their brain rarely rests because the phone never stops calling. Even when they're relaxing, they're scrolling. And scrolling is not rest. This generation is smart, creative, open-minded, but also mentally drained, overstimulated, and emotionally tired in ways older generations never faced. They're growing up in a world that moves faster than the human brain was designed for. So here's the real question. Which generation had it harder? The one that faced physical danger and silence, or the one facing constant noise and mental pressure? And where do you belong? Were you born before 1980 or after it? Tell me in the comments. If this made you think differently, hit like, subscribe for more psychology stories like this, because understanding the mind helps you understand life. And life doesn't get easier, you just get smarter.